long before mighty kingdoms rose across the vast lands of Africa. Before the great rivers carried stories from one nation to another, there existed a kingdom hidden between dark forests and towering red mountains. That kingdom was called Atan. Atan was unlike every other kingdom across the land. It was not respected because of gold. It was not feared because of magic. And it was not remembered because of riches. Atan was feared because it created warriors. The people of Atan believed that greatness could only be born through suffering. From generation to generation, the kingdom trained men whose hearts no longer feared pain, hunger, darkness, or death itself. Across distant kingdoms, merchants and kings spoke the name Atan with caution. For the warriors born there were said to possess the strength of lions and the spirits of fire. Deep inside the kingdom stood massive training grounds, surrounded by giant wooden walls and sacred carvings. Every morning before sunrise, the sound of iron striking. Iron echoed through the air while warriors trained beneath smoke and fire. In Atan, every male child belonged to destiny. At the age of 7, boys were taken away from their mothers and sent deep into the sacred forest of shadows. Hidden within the forest stood the House of Trials, the place where children were transformed into warriors. The journey alone terrified many boys. The forest was filled with ancient trees, so large they blocked the sunlight. Strange sounds echoed through the darkness at night, and many believed spirits walked silently between the shadows. But the children of Atan were taught never to show fear. Inside the House of Trials, life became merciless. The boys learned discipline before they learned kindness. They learned endurance before they learned comfort. And above all, they learned never to fear death. The training was brutal beyond imagination. Young boys fought each other beneath the burning sun until their hands bled. They carried giant stones across steep mountains, while warrior masters shouted commands beside them. They hunted dangerous beasts with sharpened spears and survived for days without food or water. Rain became their companion, pain became their teacher, and survival became their greatest victory. Many boys collapsed before completing the trials. Some disappeared forever inside the forests. Others lost themselves to fear. But those who survived emerged stronger than ordinary men. Their bodies became hard like iron. Their minds became sharp like blades. And their hearts became fearless. Years later, the surviving boys became warriors, feared across the lands. Kings from distant kingdoms traveled with gold, cattle, ivory, and precious stones to hire the warriors of Atan for battles and dangerous journeys. Wealthy merchants paid heavily for protection against enemies and raiders. Wherever an Atan warrior entered battle, victory often followed. Stories about them spread across the lands like wildfire. Mothers frightened